Hi there, my name is Kennedy Tokura. I am one of the founders at Mitigant and also the CTO. Mitigant is a cloud security company. We're based in Germany. And today I want to walk you through one of the attacks that has become very prevalent against generative AI infrastructure. Another attack is LLM jacking. So, LLM jacking, probably you've heard about it before. In this short demonstration, I want to show you how this attack can be conducted in your environment. We're going to walk through the attack, the steps. We're also going to do a little bit of investigation in an AWS account. So to give you a very close view of how this attack could be conducted to allow you also to understand what to look out for if you are kind of investigating and trying to be very careful and to be very sure that you're not a victim. So I want to refer you to this blog post. We wrote this blog post last year, actually. That was around October, and where we talked about this attack. But of course, we have references in this blog post where we point to other researchers that also talked about it. The folks from CSTIC actually were the first to notice this attack. Last year, they published a blog post around August about LLM jacking, and they have published two other blog posts. The folks also from Permiso Security have done some research into this attack LLM jacking. Excuse me. So, what is LLM jacking? So, LLM jacking basically is an attack where it's very similar to crypto jacking. So, the aim of this for the attackers is to get access to an LLM model, um, majorly the ones that are hosted by cloud service providers, and they're going to use it for their own nefarious, reasons. In the end of the day, they don't want to pay for it. And talking about how much is going to cost the owners of the account, according to Sysdig, that's going to be almost $46,000 of LLM consumption in just one day. So that's a huge amount of money. And so this diagram basically it's a high level illustration of what happens. So first it starts with the attackers getting access to an AWS key, could be a key, could be some kind of token, but they have access. And then they're just going to basically try to get access to Bedrock. And once they have access, they confirm they have access, they're going to be sending prompts. And this all happens behind the scenes. You can actually miss it. Here we talk about, we describe these steps, and we have also in this blog post a flow chart where we actually walk through some of the steps that could be executed or implemented by the attackers. So you see here, the attacker gets access to a key, does some analysis here to be sure that the key is valid. And they could use things like the IM policy simulator for doing that. Here on this step, they're confirming if they've got access to Bedrock. Now, if they don't have access, they might move to other services if that was their aim. Now, let's say they have access, they might do some reconnaissance on Bedrock. Bear in mind that AWS Bedrock has different kinds of features, so they might try to understand the setup and the architectural design of your Bedrock service. They're going to be looking at what models they have access to, the agents that are there, the knowledge bases. So this could happen, this might not happen. It's important to know all of these because you might see these logs where the attacker is conducting reconnaissance into your Bedrock. So he might also try to see whether you have whether the model he prefers to use is enabled. If it's not enabled, he might also try to enable it. If it is enabled, the next thing is to kind of evade detection. And one approach the attackers have, which one approach they could use to evade detection is by switching off the model invocation logs. We're going to look at that in a bit. Once that is switched off, it means that they might not be detected, or even if it detects, then later on you don't have you can do a very good forensics because you don't have the evidence. Now, once that is done, the next thing is basically they're going to be sending LLM no prompts against the model, right? So this is a very kind of very detailed and comprehensive description of what could happen. It might or might not happen in this way. All right. So and we I think we can just go straight into the demonstration so we can understand what we have there. Here is the target environment. This is an AWS Bedrock service. You see here that the model invocation login is already switched on here, and we want to switch it on, and we have actually two variants of this attack. The first one actually doesn't switch off the model invocation login. The second variant switches it off. We are going to execute in this demo the variant that doesn't switch it off because I want to show you exactly how these logs look like in CloudWatch. Right. So what the model invocation login configuration helps, or the idea here is that it kind of it has different configurations possibilities. You could send the logs to only S3 bucket or to CloudWatch logs only or to both. So you see I've selected both here. So it's basically going to be sending the logs both to CloudWatch logs into a bucket in S3. That's the bucket location, and here is the log name, right? So that's the log name. We're going to copy it and go over to CloudWatch. And you see that I can go back here just to show you. So that is the here you see here is the log group that I've configured for getting the logs. And if I go in there and come down to the log streams and click, you will see that these are the logs are being streamed here. This is what I did earlier on a few, I think this was like a few hours this morning. I just ran these attacks, but we're going to see, notice that the last log came in here. Basically, I think this was this morning around, actually this afternoon around 1300 hours. So we're going to see fresh logs once we start the attack. Okay, so let's go into Mitigant. So here is the Mitigant cloud attack emulation view. And what you see here is we got over 68, about 68 attack actions. We also got about 28 scenarios, which basically are more, let's say, more complex attacks. Attack actions are really straightforward. Scenarios are more realistic because they're multi-step attacks. And once we're here, we can actually search for LLMJacking, and you see we have two kinds, as I earlier described. We got the LLMJacking Advanced, which you see has three attack actions, and we also have the basic one here, which has two. And we will proceed to the basic here. Now, once you click around the scenario, you're taken to this view, which is basically a very nice no code view. So in the center here, you can see the two attack actions. The first one is LLM jacking model discovery, where the attack emulation is going to be discovering the models that are enabled in this cloud account here. That's the one we looked at earlier. And then the second the second step is it's confirmed that it has the model is looking for, which is entropic, and it's going to be basically executing the prompts. On the right here, we have described to some extent what happens, basically looking at MITRE attack and then describing what happens. And we can write an objectives here. So we have demonstrating the LLM jacking basic attack. So that is our objective here, and we could schedule it, we could execute it, but we're going to execute it right away. All right, and importantly, you gotta know that this attack occurs really fast. We don't have agents installed. We don't install agents. All our attacks are conducted over the AWS API. We have implemented directly the AWS API into our product, and that means we have direct access to the to these AWS services. In this case, AWS Bedrock. So attack is complete. We've got a success. We can hit that button and come over here to the view attack, basically the report. And so at this point in time, let's go over to CloudWatch and let's see if we have. So this is still now it's already 1444. This is actually, let's see. Okay, so this is still the these are this is the old log. So we don't have any new one coming in. I probably need to hit resume. So we're gonna see some logs. All right. So now we see these are new logs that came in. Let's say 1343. So that's this. This is basically basically the logs that they were sent here based on the attack we just executed. So you can see here that what we did here is the first prompt we send, how many oceans in the world, are basically designed to allow us to confirm that we have access to Bedrock. And here you can see that this is the role that we assumed to do that. And I'm just going to copy that because we're going to check, we're going to do some minor investigation to give you more insights into this. But that was the first prompt, which we got a response here that tells us that give some response to this question: how many oceans in the world? And then we proceeded over down here. We are basically sending this prompt: what are the steps to prevent an LLM jacking attack against Amazon Bedrock? So that's the prompt to send. And over here we have all these nice response. And that's exactly, if you come over here, you see in this first step, we discovered the models. In the second step here, you see that we basically selected Anthropic Claude Instant version 1 as the model to more like attack. And this is the prompt to send here. What are the steps to prevent an LLM jacking attack against Amazon Bedrock? And these are the steps where we basically fine printed it, but that's the same response over here. And this is basically the this is basically the prompt that we sent. One thing I'd like to show you more insights is if I go over now to if I go over there to, so let's go to Cloud Trail, right? Cloud Trail. So let's do some further investigation just to give you more insight into what into what we just did. So over here we're in Northeast North Virginia, and if I will search for let's search for event username. So what's going to happen here is we are going to fetch the evidence from CloudTrail in a bit. Just to give you more, just to give you more insights into to allow you to investigate. But if we search here for Mitigant Cloud Attack Emulation, that should be us, right? So over here you can see we have a lot of Records and CloudTrail, which are actually based on the events from our attack emulation, and that's these are different trails. So let's check again if we have anything. Let's refresh. All right, so we already have an evidence. We've pulled this from CloudTrail, and this is the attack we executed around 2:43, and then this is the event ID. So let's look at this event ID. So if we go over here and check for event ID, right? Okay, now we have this event, and if we check the details, we see this is the username, cloud attack emulation. And if we go down over here to look at the event name is Converse because it's using the Converse API. It's a unified API that is provided by AWS for interacting with different models. And we see here that this is the model that we executed against, right? That's the same thing we are seeing here, right? That's the same model. And if we go over here, we see that's the model that we selected for the attack. What else is going to be interesting here? What else might be interesting to you? Basically, yep, and that's the. Let's check again this username, right? This is the username which the attack was executed. Let's see if there's anything similar to that. So if we come over to the modern invocation logs, we see this is the identity which we assumed to execute this attack. So we can see it also reflected here, basically in this last attack which we executed around this time. So that's it here. You see there's a little bit difference with the time. This time here is still showing the GMT time, while the time on CloudTrail is set to my local time. So there's a little bit 1 hour offset, but you can see it basically shows this stuff. So in summary, what we have seen is an attack where the attacker basically gets access to an LLM. Let's go over here. So it's an assume breach attack we just executed. So we are assuming breach. And assuming breach means we assume that the attacker already got access to the key somehow and he already validated it. And what we have done is to confirm access to Bedrock and to also do some enumeration. If you look at the logs, you will see some enumeration in CloudTrail, and then to basically eventually execute the prompt, and that's basically how an LLM jacking attack could look like. And definitely, if you want to be sure that your defensive measures are accurate and they're performing as you want them to perform, this is a very nice way. You don't need to be a red teamer, you don't need to be a hacker, you don't need to have very deep insights into how what it takes to attack a system. With Mitigant, you can just easily, come over here. You can drag and drop attacks as you like that, and then you can easily just execute them. And it's very easy for you to validate the efficiency of your security tools, whether it's your threat detection system or your CSPM or your AISPM, whatever tool you're using. Mitigant helps you to easily validate how efficient your security tools are. All right, thank you so much for listening. I will drop the blog the link to the blog post and have a read. And if you have any questions, just send over to me. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very nice day. Bye.